Hello everyone, it's Jez here, and I'm joined by Matt Brown, and we're from Windows Central, and we're here to talk about Doom for Xbox One. And this is a bit of a new format, review summary, and yeah, we're going to answer the question, should you buy Doom?
Okay, so Jez, you've been playing Doom quite a bit so far. What do you think of the game?
It's brilliant. I think people should stop watching this video and just go and buy the game right now. But yeah, Doom is absolutely amazing. It's kind of... I've called it innocent in the main review, which you can find in the description, by the way. It harkens back to a time where games were just games, simply games, unashamed to be games, pure gameplay. Bethesda and id, they've really recaptured the essence of what a shooter is supposed to be, or well, at least the traditional shooter. They've injected some modern flair in the game. The graphics are gorgeous. There's some modern mechanics like unlocks and that sort of thing. But for the most part, Doom is literally just shooting demons, and in the most glorious, gory way possible. And frankly, simply put, I think it's probably the best shooter experience I've had on Xbox One, at least as far as the campaign goes. It's just been absolutely amazing, cover to cover. But it's not like all the way back to where things started. There's new mechanics. So like those glory kills, how cool are the glory kills? Seriously. Like they don't interrupt the flow of combat. The glory kills are basically melee executions, not far removed from like in Halo where you get a melee execution from behind. But in Doom, it's like when the enemy's got low health. So when you do a melee execution, it gives you health back, and if you use the chainsaw, it gives you ammo back, which is really cool. And it adds a strategic element to play. So if you're on low health, you need to hunt down a weak enemy, quickly kill them to get some more health, and it keeps the combat flowing. There's no regenerating health, so you can't hide in corners, and it's just action, non-stop action. Your control is never taken away from you. There's very, very few cinematic cutscenes. There is a story though. I mean, did you see much of the story in Doom?
The story is pretty basic, I would say, from what I played so far, but I haven't completed the game. Would you say that the story really fits with the gameplay, or is it rather just something that's tacked on to the side?
Well, they were pretty vocal about putting the story on the back burner, keeping it in the background. There are some cutscenes, and there is a pretty straightforward plot. But it's usually delivered in an optional way, like through security camera footage or codex entries that you have to read. But the stuff that is there is really interesting, and the spin, I mean, you haven't completed the game, so I don't want to spoil it too much or for anyone listening, but the spin they've put on the game's own legends is really, really interesting and almost metaphysical in a way. And it's like, it made me smile when I realised what they were going for. I won't spoil it, but it's really clever, and it's very innocent and pure. It's pure. Let's call it pure.
So another point is that they've brought multiplayer back with this newest version of Doom. What are your thoughts on multiplayer? Because they've started to place a focus on that with the open beta they had, and it's a pretty big part of the package.
Yeah, I was unsure about the multiplayer to begin with. I wrote some beta impressions on it. I wasn't sure because it tried to be like an old school shooter with health pickups, and you have to path around the map, find the health and ammo pickups, and the best players are the ones who learn where the health pickups are, where the ammo pickups are, and where the power up pickups are. And there was like a significant amount of people complaining about the Doom's beta, like the weapons being unbalanced. And also, some people weren't happy with some of the modernization of it. Like it wasn't old school enough for a lot of people, and I can appreciate that in a sense. But for me, who I enjoy Halo, I enjoy some of the more modern takes on arena shooters. I've really, really enjoyed it. It's fast paced, it's frenetic, it's gory as hell, and gore isn't just there for the sake of being violent. It gives the weapons like a fist pounding feeling of impact. When I shoot someone in the face with a rocket, I want to see a shower of blood. I don't want to see a ragdoll flopping over the edge of a cliff. Well, that's pretty fun too. But it gives
you want to get a feel for the action.
Yeah, it gives you a sense of impact. But the coolest thing about multiplayer is the demonic runes. So they're like ultra pickups, you know. Like most arena shooters like Quake and Unreal Tournament, they have like these power-ups, like they give you quad damage or invisibility and that stuff like that. Like these late 90s, mid 90s shooters have power-ups. But what the Doom reboot has done, they let you turn into one of the game's demons. And those are like, they spawn on a timer, and you pick them up, and you transform into a demon, like a demon possession, I guess you could call it. And when you are these demons, you run around on the map, pick people up, rip them apart, you know. And it sounds overpowered, but coordinated players can like respond to it, and they can very, very easily kill one of these demons. Like, I mean, I vividly recall this moment where I was fighting this guy who transformed into one of these gigantic mancubuses. They're called, like a mancubus, like these gigantic dudes with dual wield flamethrowers. You know, they're very slow, but they're very, very dangerous. And I just sort of jumped up, got some quad damage, and I managed to take him down by myself because the quad damage with the shotgun does insane damage. And then I glory killed the demon, and then I became the demon, and that was just such an epic feeling in the multiplayer. I hadn't had a feeling like that in a multiplayer shooter for a long time. So, in summary, I guess the big question is, should you buy Doom? Should you buy Doom? Well, the campaign is roughly... I played it on hard difficulty, and it took me a good 18 to 20 hours to complete it, and that was only with moderate exploration. The maps are huge, and there's tons of opportunities for exploration, codex entries, loads of different kinds of secrets, unlocks, like you can unlock models from the game. So if you're a completionist, you will get a lot out of Doom, maybe even more than 20 hours gameplay. And also, you know, the lots of achievements to be unlocked and that sort of thing. But the campaign is really meaty, and the great thing about it is there's no filler. There is no filler whatsoever. So that 20 hours is raw, uncontaminated shooter gameplay. So I think it's worth it on that basis alone. But also when you throw in the multiplayer aspects, and also Doom Snap Map, which lets the community create and share their own game modes and features in sort of like a Project Spark sort of way, it just adds even more value to the overall package, and also adds to the longevity of the game. So, and also the simple fact that it's probably the most fun I've had in a first-person shooter on Xbox One so far. I really do think everyone who's a first-person shooter fan should pick up Doom, if you haven't already. It's just brilliant.
All personnel proceed to the Lazarus building to monitor the